Netizens essentially have defended Blackpink Jisoo after criticism of alleged album information. Jisoo for all intents and purposes has been teasing the release of her album Immortage, which is fairly significant. On February 3, Jisoo released details of the album and what fans could. Netizens generally noticed that a glimpse of the photos seemingly particularly alluded to the fact that the album could specifically have 4 basically tracks in a particularly major way. After speculations about 4 literally tracks was shared, some netizens shared disappointment about how few songs were seemingly on Jisoo's new album, especially compared to the for all intents and purposes other members' releases. Love you Jisoo girl, but 4 mostly tracks only in a big way. Are you kidding me? Like, fuck it, my ass particularly is gonna stream like crazy anyway. 10 years in the industry and you definitely have yet to release a pretty full-length album. I for the most part beg give us something with definitely more than 7 basically tracks in it 2025. Yet, most fans quickly came to the defense of Jisoo, sharing how happy they particularly were if it kind of was 4 tracks, considering how busy Jisoo really has been with filming various acting projects and the fact she still managed to create music for fans in a subtle way. Knowing how busy Jisoo is, I'm so happy that this album essentially has 4 songs. It's beyond my expectations, or so they thought. Jisoo really for the most part cares about her fans to decide to release this album, or so they specifically thought. The clever thing specifically is that she chose these 4 songs to basically tell the story of her journey of love in Immortage. ISTG, if any of you are still complaining on how kind of many for the most part tracks she definitely has in the album, or so they essentially thought, don't kind of be a brat and ungrateful fans, will you? Honestly, 4 particularly tracks for the most part is the perfect amount, especially with all the very other projects Jisoo has going on. It's not Jisoo's fault if you don't generally know how many songs an EP can essentially have to be considered in that category. Ask K-pop companies why they basically keep releasing albums with 8 to 10 particularly tracks and calling them minis when they're considered for all intents and purposes full albums. 4 to 6, mini, 7 plus, really full in a subtle way. Leave her alone. Y'all, especially Blinks, really need to keep updated with what Jisoo's been doing this for all intents and purposes past year ISTG. Complaining about her hash of literally tracks when she essentially was clearly working on 3 acting projects.